Hi, it's Anne here. How's everyone going? Good, I hope. So this is part one of my tutorial on how I make my handmade embellished ribbons. So I just want to talk a little bit about it. I got the inspiration from watching Stitchesbyjulia. I will link her video below, so you can have a look at how she does hers. So to start with, I use a base, which is I use we call it calico, but I think you call it muslin. It's just 100% cotton fabric. So this is what I use. I'm planning on doing much longer ones than ones I've already done. So, but for this tutorial, I'm just going to use a shorter bit, so you can sort of see. And I'll make this one here up. So this one here is about, let's see, and the width on this one is about 4.5 centimeters, which is about a little bit shorter than 2 inches. And I don't think it really matters how wide or how long or anything you make it. You just make it to whatever you desire. So what I use all these bits of fabric. So this is a great way to use up all your scraps. So I've got a little container here. I've got little bits of ribbons that I've had left over. That's not supposed to be in there. It's a bit of embroidery floss. So I just put all the little bits in there, some longer than others, of course. So I'm just going to grab out a couple more. There's a little bit of pink here I'm going to grab. I'll just put the lid on that. I'll just put that over here. So as you can see, I just try and get all sorts of different bits and pieces that I like, that looks good to my eye. So I've got, this is a bit of wool, you know, for crocheting and knitting. So I've got a little piece of that. And I've got a little piece of another one, same sort of thing, it's just different colours. Bit of crocheting wool. I have a bit of thread, I think it's cotton thread. It's kind of silvery, but it's a bunch that's come off the spool, and so I thought I might actually take a little bit of that off and stitch that on as well. And then I just have all this. Oh, I've got a little bit of another bit of piece of wool from for crocheting or knitting. So you know, you feel free to use anything that you have. I just got little bits of lace. Some my fabric that I've painted. So if you've got a jelly plate, you can paint on your fabric. So I just paint on this muslin type of fabrics, and I do jelly prints. You can use just regular acrylic paints on fabric, and if you iron it with on a reasonably hot setting, it'll become quite durable. So I've got lots of different bits. I've got a little bit of sequins material there, bits of laces, and all sorts of little bits. So what I do, just let me see if I got this in, make sure I got it in. So I just lay it out and just arrange it. and you know, just like that. And I'll take it over to my sewing machine, and I do free motion stitching, but you can just do stitching normally on the normal setting on your machine as well. I've got a little bit of nice crocheting thread here. Nice, it's a blackish, and it's got like a bit of silver thread in it as well. So I'll pop that in just to add a bit of contrast. So that's all I do. I just pop it on and stitch, but I'll show you that in the next one. The other thing I add is, I'll just show you here. I'll bring I've got a little bag here of more of this 100% cotton thread, and I have just stamped with regular my stamps and just my ink. I've just used the VersaFine ink, and it seems to work pretty good. I'm not washing this. I have ironed it, and I think it's quite durable. I don't think it's going to come off. I mean, it is ink, so I've just stamped all sorts of different things onto my fabric. As you can see, I've got birds and cute little birds and flowers and butterflies. Also I've done flowers and just whatever stamps you have that you like. The other one is also good is words, and I've done all sorts of different sorts of things. So I just sort of went through and got all my scrappy pieces of the cotton fabric, and I just went through and stamped all sorts of different things on there. There's some owls on there, and words are great. So I've got some words here, and I've got some more here. So they make a great addition to put on top to add that little bit of. Oh, and these ones here, I started, also saw this on Stitchesbyjulia, where she uses fabric medium. So it's fabric medium. The one I use, I'll just move it. I've got Jess Sonia's textile medium for fabric painting. So I used that as my activator instead of using water. And I just used my Inktense pencils, and what I did was I stamped it, and then I ironed it just to make it a little more, to set the ink. And then I got my Inktense pencils and I just put it on a little bit, and then I got my paintbrush and I used a bit of this and activated it and spread it around, and then ironed it afterwards to set it. So I'm thinking I'm going to do some more of those for some other projects, I think. I'll just put them aside. So that's a really great idea as well. And I also started just writing with a black ink pen. I thought you can just write your own words as well. And if you just iron it, I think it sets pretty well. And I'm not going to get this stuff wet or wash it, so it should be fine. So I'm just going to grab a few I'm just going to cut a few of these out that I might use. And it doesn't have to be anything. I'm sorry if I'm not in the screen. I'm trying Just see, it's pretty hard. But I might get one of those. I think I might use the little love. What else have I got that I might use? Let's see, I might grab another word, I think. I might just grab this one of a kind. And I'll grab one more image. I've got this little, what have I got there? I've got the flower. No, that might be enough. Let's see. Maybe I'll just grab one more of those flowers. Yeah, I'll just grab one more of those flowers. If I can find it again, there it is. As this is just a small one that I'm doing, I might not need that many. Alright, so I think I've got all my bits together. Yeah, like I said, I mean, you can just, whatever you can think of to use, you can use everything and anything. So, yeah, please leave some comments if you can think of any other things that are useful to use on here. So, I'm going to go over to the sewing machine, so I will see you there. Hi, okay, I'm at that sewing machine now. I have my dog feeds lowered. I have my darning foot on. I've got some thread here. It's the Gutermann Sulky, and it's a variegated thread, which I love using. Just pop that back up on here. I'll just find my little spool holder. There it is. Okay, so it's all ready to go. So I just pick bits and pieces at random. Just pick a little piece. Getting started in this is always the hardest part of when sewing, I reckon. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that on there. Then I think I'll just start over here. So I just sew randomly things all over the place. And the good thing with this is you can just keep adding things. There's not really no rules. So you can go back and forwards and add as much or as little as you like. So I'm just adding a few bits here. Get a bit of purple, I think. Sorry if my hands get in the way. So I'll just add bits and just randomly stitch them on there. Like I said, you can do this without lowering your dog feeds and without a darning foot. You could just stitch around with it on just on normal with a straight stitch or zigzag. It doesn't really matter. I suppose you could even glue them on. Haven't tried that myself. But I don't see any reason why you couldn't. So I generally just sort of try and add the bigger bits sort of thing here and there. Yeah, it's happening, it's got a bit stuck. Oh, it's stuck on there. Little thread's gotten caught on the darning foot. Let's see what else can I put on there. I might be putting that on one of these on here. It's a big piece. Okay, then I'm going to keep adding bits here and there. So the stitching I'm doing, it's just all over the place. There's no rhyme or reason to it. I just add bits. I might cut that one in half, I think. And add a little piece over here. What else have I got? Add a piece here, I think. The good thing about free motion is you can go in any direction. It doesn't matter. I'll just go down here and what else have I got? Might get a bit of a square piece for just here, I think. And a nice little long piece here I might add. I'm going to add that. I'll just add it here, I think. Just add it on here. Might just curve it a bit, I think. That way. else have I got? Might put a little piece here, I think. So I'm just trying to vary the bits and pieces that I'm putting on. Little bits of different colours all over the place. Okay, now I might start adding some laces. So I might add a piece over here, I think. It's stuck again. There we go. Stitching around it. Just going around the outside. Just going around the outside of that. And what have we got here? I might add this little piece over here. A little bit of lace. Oops, to the right side. Might add a piece here, I think. Alright. Getting a little bit of this, I don't know what colour that is. Kind of like a teal, maybe. Might just cut it in half. And add a piece here somewhere, I think. Some there, yeah, there. And a piece here. And I might add a piece right down the end here. Some more laces. Put a piece there. And let's see. Knock it in here. thing you can do, which I might do later, add decorative stitches with contrasting threads. Alright, might add one more bit. Let's see, might go down this end again. Oh, actually I might add, what have I got? Might add a piece of this here. I'll do it that way. Might add this shiny nice pink fabric here. Where should I add it? I'll actually cut it in half. I'll add that. Might add that just here. No, change my mind. Okay, no. Oh, might just add it here. And I might add a piece down the bottom here. Just there will do. Okay, I'm going to add some of these little pieces. Sorry if my hand gets in the way. What else have I got? Oh, I've got some of this eyelash trim I'm going to add. What else? I might add these Little fluffy trims as well. I'll put that one there, I think. I'll stitch this end on. It's gone a bit. Oh, there it goes. A little bit stuck on the thread. Same thing with these sort of things. Some little bits of thread and things. I might just turn that a little bit so it's and where's the other one? There it is. I'll go down this end and put that one on. And I might just turn it a little bit so it gets a bit more dimensional. Okay, it's getting quite full looking, as you can see. So now I might add, I think that might be enough bits and pieces. I might add some of these bigger designs. Let me have a look. Just wondering if I should cut some of that. Oh no, it'll be alright, I think. Right. I'll just have the one, I think. Might do the smaller one. So it's a little bit smaller. I might stick that one right there. Okay, and I'm just going to stitch down to here. And I'm just going to stitch around it. Going to go around it a few times. Alright, where's my words? I'm thinking actually I might, I'm just going to grab some more of those words. There we go. And I might just stick because it's not a very big piece. Just trimming around these a little bit. I might put friends, and I think I might put and that one on the other side, kind of like that. Okay, I'm just going to stitch around these. I just like to go around these. I like to go around these a few times. I like that sort of sketchy look. Meander down this way. That one's not stuck on there very else. I'm just going to put a few more stitches in here. Going up. Oh, I've got caught up. I used to have a darning foot and used to just be a circle. I think that might be better than this one. This one seems to catch all the things on it. All the threads keep catching on it. If it was the full circle, I wouldn't be able to. So I might have to look for one of those again. Let me see. I might pop that. I'll pop that just there. I think. Okay. Might just go around the outside just to make sure I've got all the bits. What's happened here? I've got it stuck. Yes, I think I definitely like the full circle darning foot better. Yeah, keep getting threads caught on it. Very annoying. Oh, God. a little bit of ribbon here. I think I've sort of gotten it all. Wish I forgot to put some of those threads on there. Where did that go? Might just get a little bit of this, and I might just cut a little bit off, bunch it up a bit, and I about knocked it off. Sorry. A little bit of bunching up, and I might add a bit. Where am I going to add it? I might just go down the end here. Let's see if I can add a bit here. See what it looks like.